Hello, it's good to see you. Today we are going to be wrapping some Christmas presents, and these are the first presents that I've wrapped so far this year. We have some in different shapes and sizes, and some that we're going to put in gift boxes, like this one. And then, of course, when you have a nice decorative box like this, you don't really have to wrap it, but we're going to wrap it anyway. First thing you want to do, of course, when you're going to wrap presents is make sure that you have everything you're going to need. I have some nice glitter tags in this little swatch book. So you can just kind of leaf through and pick the tag that you want. Like that. I have a pen to write with. I have some tape, gift boxes. And I have lots and lots of tissue paper. I'm going to just set that where I can get to it. Right there. Right. And I have bows. I have a big bag of those. Look at these beautiful things. So I have plenty of those and lots of wrapping paper all over the place. It's over there. Alright, so let's start with some clothing items that we're going to put into these big gift boxes. Like this. So you're going to open it up. Now, one trick that I've learned is that you want to keep these sides open because they tend to want to fold back together. And you can use tape for that. You just use tape to kind of reinforce, to kind of stick them together. Sometimes with these bigger boxes, you need more tape. But you just tape them together like that. Let's press on it a little bit. Two clothing items. They're both for my older son. He's getting to that age where he asks for clothes, and he kind of laughed about that. This is the first year he's really asked for clothes. So first I want to check and make sure it's going to fit. And it is. But first, before I place it in there to stay, let's add some tissue paper. And just open it up. I'm going to take the tissue paper, and there are different ways you can do it. Just going to kind of lay it in there. I want one piece kind of folded out this way. And then another piece folded out this way, so you have it like this. Now I'm going to place the item down in there. Okay, and then I'm going to fold it over. That one and then this one. I'm just going to tuck it down. And then I'm going to put the lid over it. The lid's kind of cool. I like the design on it. Just open that up. Fit it over the bottom. Like that. Now see, that actually looks kind of nice just like it is. You don't really have to wrap it if you don't want to. but I think we're going to wrap it anyway. I have a fresh roll of paper. I just took the plastic off, and it looks like if we lay it this way, it's going to have enough on the edges to go over. So we're going to roll it out. Let me move my tags. I'm going to put the box in upside down. You want to make sure you have enough to cover the ends. And we do. Bring it over. I'm going to make one little cut and then lay it down. Or hold it. Takes up quite a bit of room. That's a big piece of paper. Alright. Now position the box kind of in the middle. Get a piece of tape ready. I'm not going to put any tape on the box. I try to avoid that. It's a little pet peeve of mine, but when the paper is removed from the box, if you have tape stuck to the box, when the paper is removed, a lot of times a little tag of paper will be left on the box with the tape, and that just bugs me. I don't know why, it just does. Trying to make sure the paper is even. Or as even as I can get it. Place a piece of tape there. Let's see. These ends are awfully big. We don't need quite that much. We can cut some of this off. Let's see. That's better. So you want to fold it down. I'm still not going to put any tape on the box. I don't really need to. So you crease these sides. You fold them in. This paper's kind of thick, which is nice. I don't have to worry about it tearing. Sometimes when you get to this point, if you're using a thin paper, it can easily tear as you kind of pull on it. Okay. Now at this point I could add a little tape here if I wanted. Right here. Still not on the box. just to kind of hold these parts down. Make it lay a little bit flatter there. And you fold it up. And another piece. Oops, stuck to my fingernail. And now let's look at this side. Just fold it down. I'm going to push on it a little bit. And you come over here. I'm going to press a little crease there. And here. I'm going to fold it in. And press it down. This is it's a plain black hoodie, but the hood on it kind of looks like a knight's helmet. It's kind of weird, but he said he wanted it, so I got it. Okay, and fold it up. And put some tape on that part. Did I get it? Not really. There. Now we can turn it over. Look at that. Look how nice that looks. That's so pretty. Let's put a bow on it. Here's a little gold bow. I think that would look nice. Boop. So you peel the backing off the bow, if it will come off. There we go. And I take my finger and I stick it under this part of the bow so I'm not squishing the bow. And then you take a label. These are just stickers, basically. Place that on there like that, and then it's ready to be addressed to the appropriate person. Take this here. Okay. So there is the first present of Christmas for me. Another one here. It's really big too, but you know what, we could probably fit it in a smaller box like this. There's a pretty plaid top to it. So again, you kind of open it up, push it out a little bit if you want, add some tape. Kind of hold it out. Okay, so that's gonna hold the sides more straight. They don't buckle in as much. This is an oversized long hoodie. It was actually labeled a Fortnite hoodie, but it doesn't have Fortnite on it. It's just a long hoodie. Alright. Again, we just take the one piece here. Place it where it just kind of folds over. And then this other piece does the same. So we're going to place this big hoodie in there, just like that. Fold this over. And this one too. And just tuck it down in there. And now for the top, just pull it open. And fit it over the bottom piece and push it down. This one's kind of thick. And you can actually put tapes on the side if you want. I don't think I am though. Now let's get some paper. Here's a cool roll that I bought last year. I don't know if you remember. If you saw any of my videos last year, you might have seen this roll. So again, we have to measure it so we can cut it. I'll lay it in there face down. I'm going to cut it two ways. I'm going to cut it this way and this way. But first I need to see how long it needs to be. This way. Okay, so we can put the roll up. Now we're going to have a lot of overhang here. So I'm going to slide the box up to about where I want it to stop. And then I have to look on this end and see how much I need to cut. A small present, that might be enough to do it with. Okay. So you kind of position your box in the middle. You can go ahead and get a piece of tape ready if you want to. One piece there. And you can do pieces here and here too if you want. You don't really have to, but you can. And again, there's no tape on the box itself. I do try to avoid it. I've been wrapping Christmas presents since I was a kid. My parents never particularly cared for Christmas very much. So, I think by the time I was old enough to do a lot of this, it was sort of relegated to me. I wrapped everybody's presents but mine from the time I was about 8 or 9 years old. I always loved Christmas. Really, nobody else in my family cared about it. I always loved it. I looked forward to it every year. And I still do. Now I have these little pieces here that are going to kind of stick out. I'm going to add a little bit more tape to hold those down, just mainly so they don't get caught on anything and get pulled open. But yeah, my mom taught me to wrap presents when I was little. So then once she was satisfied that I could do it, she had me take it over and wrap everybody's stuff. We would save the Sunday funnies for the weeks leading up to Christmas and use that for wrapping paper. So my first Christmas gift wrapping experiences were with the Sunday funnies. Okay, so there's that one. Hey, that looks pretty. How about for this one, use a green bow? That would be nice. Yeah. Dude, one of the reasons I don't put the bow right in the middle, I had people ask about this last year, is because of stacking the presents, not just under the tree, but I'm upstairs right now and I only have to carry them downstairs. And if you have the bow in the middle, you can't really stack anything on top of it. If it's over to the side, I might be able to stack some stuff on top of it to carry it without squishing the bow. That's one of the reasons why I put it on the side. Plus, it's just kind of habit. That's the way I was taught to do it as a kid, so we'll just keep doing it that way. So you have to remove the backing. Press it down on the package with my finger kind of inside the bow so I'm not squishing the bow. And then we need oh, here's a big label. Look at that one. If I can get it off. That's a gigantic sticker. There we go. So I've been wrapping presents for a long time, more than 35 years. Let me fill this out. So there's present number 2. I'm stacking them already. I just put that one on top of the first one. Let me get something for my other kid. Now, it's a Lego set, and I started to try to put something in here to disguise the sound, but then I decided not to worry with it because they know what it is already. I tried putting jingle bells in there and stuff, and they always know it's a Lego set. Here's some pretty paper. Look, it's gingerbread men. Let's use this. Now, obviously, if it's thin, very thin paper, I'm going to have to be careful. Obviously, we're not going to need a lot. I'm going to cut it about right here. I'm going to turn it over. This paper is not marked on the back. So I'm going to turn it over to cut it where I can see what I'm doing. That's very, very thin paper. Okay. It's almost see-through, so I think I may actually roll it a little bit. Kind of double it up. make it a little harder to see what it is. Let's see. All right, there we have it. Did I ever tell you that when I was a kid I had to cut down my own Christmas trees? I did. It was an adventure. And I don't mean because we went to one of those farms where you cut your own tree. That's not what I mean. I grew up out in the middle of nowhere. There were no other houses on our road, and we were completely surrounded by forest. And my dad always said, I'm not spending perfectly good money on a tree when we're surrounded by trees. Go out in the woods and cut a tree. So I would take a machete out into the woods and try to find something that would work as a Christmas tree. There weren't many good trees to choose from. Usually I'd come back with a cedar. But, you know, when they grow up out there surrounded by much larger trees, they don't really grow evenly, you know. They look like oversized Charlie Brown trees. Look at that. Well, they'll either know it's a Lego set or it's a toy that got broken. So every year, I'm going to use a red bow. Oh, no. Here's a prettier one. Red and green. Ooh. So every year, a few weeks beforehand, I spent a lot of time out in the woods as a child. A week or two beforehand, I would start looking for a tree that would work as a Christmas tree. And then when it was time, I would go cut it down and bring it home. And I was never really pleased with the trees because they didn't look like what I imagined a pretty Christmas tree should look like. I like that label. So I made a promise to myself as a child. Well, I made several promises to myself. One of the promises I made was that when I grew up, every year at Christmas, I would have whatever tree I wanted. And I wasn't even going to worry about the cost. Look at that label. Actually blends in a little too well. All right, label that one. Isn't that cute? Okay. So I promised myself that I would have whatever tree I wanted. It didn't matter how much it was or where I had to go to get it. I would have the tree I wanted every year, and I have done that. Ever since I moved out at 17, every year I have had the tree that I wanted. Alright, the next thing I have is my dad's waterfalls calendar. I don't think we need to really put that in anything. Now, I don't have much of this paper left. I don't know if I have enough. Ooh. I don't. That's not going to work for that one. Let's use this one again. I had it handy. It just so happens that I believe that'll work. I found a really nice artificial tree several years ago that I really liked, and I've been using it every year. But I had real trees many years. And I found a place in Virginia near where my dad lives that sells Christmas trees, and they're absolutely beautiful. and they're more expensive now, but back when I started going up there to get them, you could pick any tree, any size, and it was $20. And I found some of the most beautiful trees up there. So, you know, right after Thanksgiving, I would go up and visit my dad and pick up a tree on my way home. But yeah, my parents never really cared a whole lot about Christmas. They were just always glad when it was over. My mom said she couldn't understand why I got so excited about Christmas. It just made no sense to her. The only thing I can figure is, I guess maybe growing up, their Christmases weren't great for whatever reason. I don't even really know. But they've never really said, so I don't know. But they were always just relieved when it was over, and I didn't feel that way about it. There. This is for my dad. He's not going to worry about it. He's just going to get mad at me and say, you didn't need to buy me anything. We go through this every year. Kind of looks like a record. See what I'm doing? Taking this edge here, and I'm just kind of folding it in and pressing on it like I'm making a weird paper airplane. You can even kind of crease it there a little. And I'm folding it over. I never got a lot for Christmas. And my mom would tell me every year, you shouldn't get so excited about Christmas because you're going to be disappointed. What I could never get her to understand was I never was disappointed because it wasn't just about presents for me. I enjoyed the whole thing. Everything about Christmas was exciting to me. It wasn't just the presents. But I never could get her to understand that. So here we have the calendar. This is nice thick paper so you can't see through it, which is nice. Well, let's use the little one with the reindeer. I like that one. It says no whale. Oops. Darn tape. Alright. No whale. In a gold bow. I still love Christmas. I do. I really enjoy it. I love the music. I love the way it just seems like the atmosphere everywhere just changes. It's just something magical about it. I don't mean to sound like a Hallmark movie, but it just does. So, we have it all ready to be labeled. I'm just going to put to Dad from Mary. Done. Very cute. You'll never guess what it is, especially since I give him a calendar basically every year. Now here's a little thing. I don't suppose, no, my paper's not wide enough. Well, I might be able to do it this way. Maybe. I think we can. My scissors. Okay. I think we'll be able to do it this way. Get a piece of tape. Now this one we're going to do this way. And that will make good use of that paper. Like, you have the Christmas parades and all the TV specials, Charlie Brown Christmas and Rudolph. I never really liked Frosty the Snowman, and I don't know why, but I didn't really like that one very much. And now I have my whole list of Christmas movies I like to watch. In fact, my younger son and I just watched Elf right before I came up here to do this. We had popcorn and enjoyed the movie. It was so nice. There. So that wraps another present and uses up a piece of paper that I had left over. Let's look and see. Oh, look at that one. That's a really trippy bow. I like that. So we take the backing off. Feels good to be getting this done. I have a long way to go. I don't have all my presents here yet. Oh yeah, pretty. Alright, let's see what else we have. Ooh, here's something for my mom. Now this is big. You know what? Thinking I could actually kind of just wrap it the way it is. Or do I want to put that in a box? Now this is a challenge. You see how squishy it is? Let's do one that's a challenge. First you want to make sure you use a thick paper. And this is a thick paper, definitely. And turn it and lay it that way. And now I know somebody's going to say, what about people that you're getting presents for? Won't they see? Literally no one in my family watches these things. So it's actually totally fine. Now this is not going to look perfect, but it doesn't matter. As long as it's covered, that's what really matters. What I did, I just moved it up in there a little bit. And I'm going to trim the other side when we get over there. And we're doing it kind of the same way you do a box, only it's squishy. So you have to wrangle it a little bit more. Now, we're going to trim this about right there, I think. We'll see. That should make it easier. Ooh, that's quite lovely. And we'll do a green, no, gold bow. Pretty gold bow. And I'm not going to be stacking anything on top of this because it's not exactly something that you would stack anything on. So we can put it right in the middle. Like that. Now we need a tag. Let's look for a different. Ooh, I like that one. With the, it looks like stacked, like little stacked presents. There. So I just put to Mom from Mary. There. Oh, we're making so much progress. Okay. How about some socks? Look at that. I might be able to use that little bit of the end of our roll. Right here. I think it'll work. See? Now you see crazy. It's a weird shape. I mean, I can always put it in a box, but I don't feel like it. Let's see. Maybe, now it is a funny shape. Maybe this way. I could do it either way, I guess. Might work better this way. Bad thing about the end of the roll, it wants to curl up so bad. Ooh, we can cut a lot of that off. Let's see here. These are always funny. I love these funny shaped packages because my kids pick them up and turn them over like, what the heck is this? And they know sometimes I wrap things in a funny way to keep them from guessing what it is. Like I'll take a present and wrap it up in something else, like a pair of gloves or something. And then they have no idea what it is. Like this, I don't think he's going to guess what this is. Now when you have a funny shape present, you just kind of have to play it by ear. You just have to sort of go with the flow of the shape that you're working with and figure out the best way to do it. Sometimes there really is no good way to do it. You just have to figure out the best thing you can do. I like to go ahead and kind of crease the paper a little bit before I get the tape. I'm going to put some more on there. Ta-da! He's never going to guess what this is. Well, he might, but I doubt it. And we will have it where it's standing like that. So let's get a red bow for it. They're going to love seeing some presents under the tree. Now, I know, I got some flack for this last year. A lot of people ask me, you know, why do you wrap everything? Why don't you leave some stuff to put out unwrapped for Christmas morning from Santa? Well, growing up, my parents didn't do that because they couldn't afford to give us very much at all. I mean, we got very little for Christmas growing up, and they couldn't really afford to, they didn't want to leave any presents aside to be from Santa because they didn't have much to give us to start with. And so I, growing up, never had any unwrapped presents from Santa. They were always wrapped. So that's just what I was used to growing up. And then when I had kids, that's just what I automatically did. And, I wasn't aware that people would have a problem with it. And I'm still not really worried about people having a problem with it because I understand everybody does things their own way. And that includes me. So I don't wrap their presents mainly because I just never thought to do it. Because my parents never did it. And I know I saw that in movies and stuff, but I was smart enough to know that my Christmases were not like the Christmases in movies and TV. So I didn't expect it to be the same. Plus my kids are 9 and 13 and they know the deal with the presents. Okay. Here's one. It's a Lego set. It is actually really cool. I like it. Now, let's see. And again, I didn't bother to try to disguise it. They know when they shake it, it's a Lego set. Let me get some different paper. Here's a paper we haven't seen. It has lights on it, like little Christmas lights. And again, we're going to cut it this way and this way. But first I want to measure. You know what though? I bet it's long enough to fold it over. I'm going to guess that it is. If it isn't, I'll just cut some more paper. See if this works. It may not. Oh yeah, it's gonna work. So you can kind of slide it like this to position the paper and center it if you want to. You don't have to, but I like to do that. Make sure it's tight. Now, have these sides. Push them down, press them. Fold it in, press the bottom. The best present I ever got, and I know I've told y'all the story 100 times. I wanted a Barbie townhouse when I was a kid, and my parents just could not afford it. So my dad made me a townhouse out of just scrap plywood and stuff that he had. And he even found some linoleum to put on the floors, and he painted it and everything. It even had an elevator in it. And attached on the side, he even built a little stable for my Barbie horses. And it was the best Christmas present I ever got. And I have never gotten one since then that topped that. I opened my other presents. It was kind of like in A Christmas Story when Ralphie got the BB gun. You know, he already opened everything. And then my dad said, why don't you go out and feed the dogs? And I got the dog food, and I opened the front door to go out and feed them, and he had put it right on the front step, right in front of the door outside, and I just died. I couldn't believe that he had done that for me. That's the best surprise ever, to open the door and see that. And I'll tell you, it's even cooler than the plastic one that you would buy in the store. It was the neatest thing. He put a lot of work into it. I mean, even as a kid, I could see that. He clearly put a lot of work into that. Oh, this one's cute. A little Christmas tree. There we go. Look at that. How's that? That look good. I like that paper. It's very festive. So I'm going to have more presents. This isn't all of them. I still have more coming that I've ordered and they haven't gotten here yet. But it's nice to get a head start. Here's a weird one here. Let me move this out of the way. Here we have this halo thing. I think I'll leave it like this. I don't think I'm going to put it in a box. I do want to make sure to use thick paper though. I know I've used this quite a bit, but I'm going to use it again. Let's see. I'm kind of eyeballing it to see if I can do it that way. I might be able to. We'll give it a try. Turn it over. It's from Boomco. I just saw that. Oh yeah, plenty big enough. And again, when it's a weird shape, you just kind of have to figure out what works best for that shape. Just fold it, press it down. And then you pull it up. And looky there. I'm not really going to be able to set anything on top of it because it'll squish it. Let's use a green bow for this one. Where can I put it? Maybe, no, we'll put it down here. It's Not really anything to press on there. Let's use this great big one. Oh, look at that. It's all ready to be labeled. And I have one more. It's going to be the same basic concept, but I'm going to use different paper. Look at this pretty paper. Hasn't even been opened yet. Doesn't want to open. There we go. Ooh, it's pretty. Look how dark it is. Oh, it's super thick too. That's awesome. That is extremely thick paper. And I think again we can do it like the other one, where it's gonna come over this way. I'll turn it over. It's a bit long, isn't it? That's beautiful paper. But it doesn't want to slide for me. Funny, I look back at the pictures of Christmas mornings as a child, and my mom and my dad and my brother all look like they're on death row. There's more cheer in a graveyard. And any pictures of me, I'm sitting there with this huge smile on my face, and everybody else just looks like they're at a funeral or something. It's weird. But they couldn't dampen my spirit. They just couldn't do it. I wouldn't let them. Even my brother, but he was always a very serious child. Kind of an old soul type, I guess. He didn't get excited about much. Not even Christmas. Oh, dang it. Why you gotta be like that? It loves itself too much to do any good. And it's the thickest Christmas paper I think I have. But there we have it. Hopefully they won't know what that is. I don't know if they will or not. Let's give that one of the pretty red and green bows, like this one. We can get the paper off of it. This label, I was just laughing. It says Christmas is a time for peace and hope, and I'm putting it on a Nerf device. Peace and hope is you take a Nerf dart to the back of the head. And there's peace on the package too. Alright, there's another one. Let's do one more for the night and then I think I'll be done. How about we do this book for my dad? This is In Broad Daylight, A Murder in Skidmore, Missouri by Harry McLean. It's an interesting, true story. Let's go with this paper again. I like this paper. Now I think we could turn it this way and then cut it about right there. And I think that will work just fine. Okay. Well, let's see how much we need to cut this way. Oh, quite a bit. Alright, so we do it this way. Very simple, especially compared to those other two things. And bring it up. fold it down, crease it on the sides, fold it in. You kind of press it there. Fold it up and have the tape stick to your finger. Try again. I'm going to put some on these corners over here. Because usually what we do is my dad and stepmom come visit me a few days before Christmas, and we exchange gifts at that time, but we don't open them. We save them for Christmas Day, but I don't typically see them on Christmas Day. So the ones that they bring for my kids and me, we put under the tree. And then the ones I get for them, they just take home. So there's that. Actually, I have one more little present that just came in the mail today. I want to show you, and we'll wrap it too. It's small. I think a red bow would be pretty. Plus it was closest. There. Another thing I love to do this time of year is go downstairs at night after the kids go to bed and it's nice and quiet, and just look at my tree. The lights are so beautiful when it's dark down there. You turn out the lights and just the tree is just so beautiful. There. So I like to go down there and gaze at my tree. I know it's silly, but it really is pretty, and I really do like it. I always hate taking it down. Makes me sad. Alright. So there is his book. See? Yeah, he'll never guess what that is. And I got this from my stepmom. This just came in the mail today, actually. It's a like an amethyst cross. It's sterling silver, and it's a pendant with a sterling silver chain. So this color purple is her favorite, so I thought she would like that. Let me find some pretty paper. This is pretty. I could just stick this in a gift bag, and I may actually wrap it and stick it in a gift bag too. I don't know. But you see, something like this, we're not going to need a lot of paper. But I'm going to go ahead and cut the whole strip anyway, just to keep it even. Let's see here what we can do. It doesn't want to stay. There. God knows this paper's noisy. Cut it about right there. Let's turn it this way. They both told me not to get them anything, but I don't feel right because they always get me something really nice, and it just doesn't feel right not giving them something. Plus, I want to anyway. I love going out and buying presents. And every year I set a budget and I say I'm not going over this and I'm not spending anymore, and I always go over it. Every year I always go over my budget. And you know what? I'm not sorry. I enjoy it. There. Look at that cute little thing. Nice. And then I could always stick this in a gift bag if I want to. In fact, I might do that. So I'm just going to put a label on it so I'll remember what it is. See if I can find a small one. None of these are really all that small. I'll have to put it on this way. Very cute. Alright, well that is going to do it for right now. We may have more later, so I may be back to wrap some more stuff. And if I do, I'll probably do it downstairs on my dining room table. It's a little better setup than this, but thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again really soon.